Tonight, changing school boundaries. As the Duluth School District considers that proposal, parents are voicing their concerns. Plus, honoring Marshall. The Grand Rapids community is coming together to remember a third grader who died in a tragic farming accident. And a local food bank broke records in 2019 as they offered more fresh produce than ever and served more than 5 million meals.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Anthony has the night off. Eliminating classroom overcrowding. That's the goal of the Duluth School District's 3 different plans to redraw its boundaries line. But already there's been a lot of criticism from parents because it could mean students having to switch schools. CBS3's John Cardinelli joins us live from East High School. That's where a public meeting is being held for parents tonight. John, what's the goal of this meeting?
Kristen, parents are still filing in here to give their feedback on those 3 proposed boundaries. Now, I'm going to move now and show you the room. It is packed with hundreds of parents, all waiting to share their feedback. This process all started back in October, and tonight is the first time the public can comment before the school board. We spoke with several parents last night. One of the main concerns is that the new boundaries could create greater travel times for some students. They say this extra time could take away from sleep, homework time, family time, and time for extracurricular activities. Other parents are unhappy because they made financial decisions based upon where they would like their child to go to school.
We bought our homes where we did for a purpose, and it feels like that's just sort of like negated. That's not like an issue for people, but it is. You know, we moved 2 years ago. I can't just pick up and move my home.
Tonight is just part 1 of 2 meetings that will be taking place on proposed boundaries. Tomorrow night at Denfield High School, another public meeting will be held. And tonight at 10, we'll hear from parents and school board members about what's going on at tonight's meeting. For now, Kristen, back to you.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Thanks, John. A piece of history in Duluth, downtown Duluth, is going on the market. Last night, the Duluth School Board voted to list historic Old Central High School for sale. The building, which sits near 2nd Street and Lake Avenue, houses mostly district offices. Last summer, the district learned it could cost millions to bring the building up to code. So they wanted to see what kind of interest they could get by putting it on the market.
The future of this building is very important to us and to the school board, and so we would be looking for whatever someone is interested in doing to this building, that it works for us, it works for the community.
The asking price hasn't been listed, but the school has been on the market for about 7 years now. The district had offers from Edison, a competing school district, to buy the building, but the board turned down that offer. Dave joins us now for a look at the weather. I gotta say, Dave, felt quite warm outside today compared to what we've seen the last couple of days.
Yeah, our January thaw is here. It comes most years, but not all. And some meteorologists don't believe in January thaw. Well, my program talked all about it back in the day, which was pretty much the Stone Age, just coming out of the Ice Age many years ago. Yeah, and so we're out of the Ice Age for at least a week, maybe even longer. Let's take a look at the map for the upper Midwest, and a mix is possible tonight because that warmth will be fueling a little bit of rain and a little bit of snow as that low pressure system converts water vapor into precip here for our region. Firing up the day planner here for Thursday. We start the day with just a 30% chance for this mix, but the day goes on staying cloudy, and the precip chance steadily increases, becomes a 50-50 shot in the afternoon. Could add up for folks in Wisconsin and Minnesotans, especially north of Duluth, may wonder what the big deal is. Well, we'll show you the maps and snowfall estimates in a little more detail coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Dave. 2 men facing felony charges in connection with a home invasion robbery in Duluth. 23-year-old Dallin Timothy Thorstensen and 24-year-old Martin Luther Polk Jr. were charged today with first-degree kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and 2 assault charges. The charges stem from an incident on Sunday in the Woodland neighborhood. The criminal complaint says Polk and Thorstensen beat the victim with baseball bats and locked him inside the trunk of a car. Police say he was eventually able to get out. Tonight, it's still unclear how the people involved are connected, if at all, or what may have led up to it. Police say the incident was not random. Polk and Thorstensen are being held behind bars. A Virginia man accused of sexually assaulting a woman in an Iron Range Hospital's chapel is headed to trial. Micah Wabenai is charged with fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct and false imprisonment. According to court documents, a woman went to the chapel while visiting Hibbing's Fairview Range Medical Center in October. The 26-year-old reportedly followed her in, locked the door, and touched her sexually multiple times. The victim was able to escape and ran to hospital security. It's unclear why Wabenai was at the hospital. He pleaded not guilty to the crime. His jury trial is set for March. A man who illegally crossed the U.S. border into Minnesota last year is now in federal custody. Former Canadian Armed Forces reservist Patrick Matthews is part of a white supremacist group called The Base. According to the criminal complaint, officials believe Matthews illegally crossed the border from Manitoba into the United States in August. He was arrested with two others in Maryland last Thursday. Federal prosecutors say Matthews was caught on a hidden camera saying he hoped violence at a gun rights rally in Virginia this week could start a civil war. Prosecutors asked the judge to keep him behind bars until his trial. Minnesota's hockey community is mourning the loss of a Grand Rapids third grader. Cass County authorities say Marshall Bader died in a farming accident in Boy River, Minnesota on Sunday. They say the 9-year-old was pinned under a skid steer. Bader was on the Grand Rapids Squirts hockey team and dreamed of one day playing in the state tournament. That's why teams all across Minnesota are honoring him, putting hockey sticks out on their front porch and wrapping them with orange tape. According to his obituary, Bader's funeral will be held Sunday at Bethany Lutheran Church in Deer River. Day 2 of the Senate impeachment trial is underway, with House managers delivering their opening arguments against the president. The session began less than 12 hours after the Senate approved the majority leader's organizing resolution along party lines without accepting any of the Democrats' 11 amendments. House managers began making their case for why they believe President Trump's conduct with Ukraine warrants removal from office. Before leaving Switzerland, President Trump joked he'd like to attend the trial, saying witnesses are up to the Senate, but added executive privilege would prevent testimony from former National Security Advisor John Bolton and other key officials. The president's lawyers say they have not filed a motion to dismiss the impeachment trial because they are confident they will win acquittal. They will begin their presentations later this week. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin shared his thoughts today on the Senate impeachment trial. The Republican said Tuesday's discussion went on longer than it should have. He says the meeting lasted almost 13 hours with a topic he felt should have taken less than 30 minutes. Johnson also feels the House didn't fully investigate the matter.
The House was in a rush to do this impeachment. They did, from my standpoint, a pretty sloppy job. Now they want the Senate to do their job for them. And that's really what the argument was all day yesterday is, they're asking us to do what they should have done in a more thorough impeachment inquiry.
The House did subpoena numerous records and witnesses to testify in its investigation, but the White House blocked those requests. Johnson says the House will have 24 hours to present their case over a period of 3 days. After that, the president's team will be given the same time period. Meanwhile, Senator Tammy Baldwin, also of Wisconsin, weighed in on the impeachment trial. The Democrat says she feels Americans deserve better than a partisan trial. She also stated, quote, "It's not our job to support and defend President Trump. It's to support and defend the Constitution and do impartial justice." It was a record-breaking year for Second Harvest. Not only did the Duluth Food Bank distribute more than 5 million meals last year, they also served about 1.7 million pounds of fresh produce and saw the most volunteer hours ever. CBS 3's Alex Libby spoke with Second Harvest leaders to learn why 2019 was so big and why big isn't always best.
Of Second Harvest's 36 years, Shay Morris, the food bank's executive director, has been there for the last 2 decades. After all that time serving those in need, she knows what these records mean to the entire Northland.
I think it's really important because it shows the volume of food that we've distributed throughout northeastern Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin.
While bigger numbers are always better in their line of work,
It is bittersweet because obviously we would rather be ending hunger in the Northland than actually feeding a need.
She says they couldn't have fed so many people in 2019 without the help from volunteers and donations.
Volunteers, they really are the reason that we had the success we had in 2019.
Volunteers like Russ Marin. He donates his time to Second Harvest every Wednesday.
I think there are more volunteers. There seems to be more people that have come to join us over the past year and become interested and stayed.
He thinks that our frigid winters could be why the demand for food is so high.
Northland's a tough environment because of the cold, because of the high heating costs for families. Demand has continued to grow because of those factors.
Marin and other Second Harvest leaders alike are happy to break this record and, most importantly, serve their community along the way.
It's important to me to find useful activities to pursue, and this I find very satisfying, very good use of my time.
Still to come on Live Local CBS3, famous in a small town. An Iron Range man makes his debut on a network show. We'll tell you how his love of being a bladesmith got him there.
Normal high temp is 19. Today we made it to 31. It's the start of a warm spell that could be with us for at least a week. And we'll be peppered here and there by rain-snow mixes. One could come tonight. We'll talk about the odds after our break.
CBS3 News is brought to you by Spirit Mountain.
During Home's preferred customer event, get an extra 10% off sale prices or 0 down, no interest financing for 5 years and get free shipping. Hurry, the preferred customer event ends Monday at Home Furniture.
Find your style at Menards with 11% off Patriot Lighting.
Or you could add stylish storage with 11% off all Dakota shelving.
Insulate and save big on energy costs, plus get 11% off.
Create your dream Clearview kitchen with 11% off.
You'll be floored by our vinyl plank flooring. Get 11% off all of it.
Whatever you're working on, you'll get 11% off. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The balances on your credit cards are worse than your yoga poses.
It's going to be a stretch to make those payments.
Feel that high interest burn.
Oh, nice fall, just like your credit.
Namaste.
Are your credit card debts throwing you off balance and your interest rates tying you in knots? Just one call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your mind. They can lower your interest rates and consolidate your debts to get you out of debt fast without destroying your credit. The program works. Call Consolidated Credit to find out if the program is right for you. The call is free. Call
1-800-322-8269. 1-800-322-8269. That's 1-800-322-8269. 1-800-322-8269.
Because that sucks.
Bart picks me up when I call.
It gets me to my appointments.
It gets me to class.
It gets me to practice.
It gets me to go shopping.
It gets me from school.
It gave me my mobility back.
And it gets me here with my friends.
The bus is always warm.
At Bay Area Rural Transit, we have over 82,000 reasons to ride. One for every person who lives here.
Now at Home Sleep Express, get 0 interest financing on any Tempur-Pedic for 5 years. Plus, Home will give you a $300 shopping card, free delivery, setup, and a 120-day comfort guarantee. 0 interest financing on Tempur-Pedic for 5 years at Home Sleep Express.
There's this guy on the web. He's been explaining in detail how he's going to kill me. Oh, my God. He was in here.
A new Criminal Minds tonight, 9/8 Central on CBS.
This is the longest we've ever had a SWAT officer undercover.
You cross me, I finish you. And every person you love.
Something's happening between Street and Nolan.
Move, move, move.
A new SWAT, tonight at 10/9 Central on CBS.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
All right, today, the beginning of a January thaw here in our region. And as I mentioned it a little bit earlier, some meteorologists think January thaw, it's just a coincidence. But the program I went to way back in the early 90s says in January, the upper Midwest often gets an influx of continental tropical air, the warm, dry stuff from the desert southwest, and that bumps our temperatures up for a while. And our wind is expected to be from the southwest tonight. So perhaps that is the reason. No matter what the reason, it's going to be warm around here for at least a week. And temperatures today then for highs ran about 26 to 34 when the normal is only 19. Get used to temperatures like that because they just might last at least through February 3rd. Now let's move on and see what the temperature is right now at the airport in Duluth. And it is 31. The relative humidity is 92%. Wind is calm. And so to our southwest, we're dealing with some fog. And there's a slight chance overnight tonight we might have to start worrying about it as well. Air pressure currently is just a hair on the lower side at 29.91. And likely will go a little bit lower as a trough of low pressure comes through to bring us a chance for a rain and snow mix region-wide tonight, tomorrow, and maybe into Friday. Current temp in Watersmeet, it's 31. Just a little warmer in Ironwood, 33 to 34 for much of northwestern Wisconsin, but only 32, I use that term loosely, of course, in Superior. It's also 32 Moose Lake, 28 Hibbing, 25 Ely, and 18 degrees in International Falls. So as warmer air tries to come in with this warm spell here, it'll take a little while to conquer the region. Already warm for Wisconsin and the UP. Borderland hasn't quite caught up yet, but by tomorrow, likely they will. And again, the warmth will persist for at least a week. Right now, well, with a low pressure system coming in from the southwest, we're not seeing much of an effect here up in northern parts of Minnesota, though here at the head of the lakes, the clouds are increasing. Right now, it's Wisconsin and the UP that have a frontal boundary associated with that low, creating some snow and a rain and snow mix, and that likely will start to fill into the rest of the region here as we go through tonight, and this low gets a little bit closer. And then once we get into tomorrow, well, the low pressure system will still be slowly moving through the area, so we all go towards about a 50% chance for rain and snow mixes. And it may turn into just light snow here by Friday. And the initial wave here on Thursday just might leave us with precip like this on the ground. North of Duluth, maybe nothing, but a trace to an inch for east central Minnesota ahead of the lakes, and perhaps 1 to 3 inches going for eastern Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula. Forecast tonight in Minnesota says low temps could be as cool as 15 up north, as warm as almost 30 right by the lake. 30% mixed chance this side of the border. It is a 50% chance Wisconsin, Michigan with lows in the upper 20s there. And then for tomorrow, low 30s for highs for Wisconsin and the UP. 60% chance for that mix persisting. And it's a 50% chance it'll stick around in Minnesota with highs there from 24 inland to 30 by the lake. Extended forecast shows temperatures stay warmer than normal all week long, like I mentioned. And as far as snow chances go, mixes. Thursday and Friday we get some, and another round next Tuesday and Wednesday. In between, Saturday to Monday should be cloudy but dry.
Thanks, Dave. An Iron Range man will soon be on TV screens across the country. Cody Hoffsummer of Aurora is a bladesmith who recently competed on the History Channel's Forged in Fire show, and his episode airs tonight. CBS3's Emma Quinn met up with him to learn about this unique trade and his experience on the show.
It started as a passion.
So a bladesmith is a knife maker that uses a forge and an anvil to shape the steel.
Turned into an opportunity of a lifetime for Aurora native Cody Hoffsummer.
So I am on History Channel's Forged in Fire. It is a competition between 4 bladesmiths. It's a 3-round competition. At each round, 1 bladesmith is sent home, and the winner receives $10,000.
The competition, which was filmed in several parts of the country, Hoffsummer says was filled with emotions.
They put you in a stressful environment. Nerves are definitely all amped up. Time competition, so time is really your enemy. It's a lot of problem solving and extremely stressful. It was extremely fun. It was a good time.
Hoffsummer hopes those who watch will be inspired and want to learn more about this unique trade. That he even let me try.
That some people can see some new things, realize that this art isn't dead, that it's still going strong, and come try it out and see what they can make.
If you want to know if Hoffsummer won the $10,000, you'll have to tune in to Forged in Fire on the History Channel tonight. The episode starts at 8 p.m. Hey, and Kelly.
Hey, I snuck in. I just wanted
to sneak in.
Talk about.
So excited about sports.
Cool.
I know, it's cool, right?
We'll have to set our DVR and watch it in the newsroom.
Yeah.
You know what else you want to set your DVRs for?
What's that?
UMD hockey.
Ooh.
Both UMD teams back in action this weekend. UMD feeling particularly good after last weekend's series against Bemidji. We'll hear from the team next.
Save up to 40% any in-stock Winter Columbia and the North Face at Northwest Outlet.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. New state-of-the-art dealership. Same President's Award-winning service. KohlerToyota.com.
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you're going to think about, it's not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
Get to Prime Appliance in Superior for the big New Year's clearance sale going on now. We've marked everything down again. Save over $2,400 on this beautiful Whirlpool Sunset Bronze 4-piece smart kitchen. Comes with a counter depth refrigerator, a convection slide-in range, a microwave, and a dishwasher, now only $39.95. Financing always available. Get it delivered and installed or take it home today. Prime Appliance, it's the best place to buy your appliances, and we'll prove it to you again this year. Got you a custom jersey. Thanks, man. Wait, it reads colon instead of colon.
Ooh.
You missed the accent.
I know how you feel. I was missing my favorite games, but then I switched to DirecTV, and they also gave me this season of NBA League Pass. Now I can watch the NBA whenever and wherever I want. Hey, maybe next time about your half-brother. Semicolon.
TV without NBA League Pass is just kind of TV. Switch, and DirecTV will give you this season of NBA League Pass, plus a $100 reward card. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Join us for an extraordinary wintertime adventure in Bayfield. Pick your favorite sled dog team and cheer them on from start to finish as they race the challenging course of hills and flats through the forests of Bayfield. Keep warm beside the bonfire as you wait for your team to return. It's an unforgettable experience for young and old, spectator and racer alike. Food trucks, bonfires, and winter fun at the Apostle Island Sled Dog Race in beautiful Bayfield, Wisconsin, February 1st and 2nd.
Hurry over to Bob's Factory Outlet in Park Falls and Ashland for their clearance sale. Help us make room for new arrivals with our January clearance. Stationary sofas marked down to $5.49 and reclining sofas down to $5.99. Cozy up and relax on a new sectional sofa priced as low as $10.49. Host your friends for the big game with a pub height table with 4 chairs priced to sell at $6.99. Bob's Factory Outlet clearance sale ends February 1st.
CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
It was a tough 120 minutes for UMD this past weekend. St. Cloud State is always a tough place to play. You factor that in with a bigger sheet of ice, and going against your former assistant coach, you're bound to face a few bumps. The Bulldogs suffered a sweep on the road at the hands of the Huskies this past weekend. Notching a goal on Friday, they were completely shut down on Saturday, losing 2-0 on Hockey Day in Minnesota. But the team isn't getting too down, and neither should you. There's still a lot of conference play to be had.
Definitely with the Olympic ice, usually it's more space and more offensive, more goals, but like I said, it's just one of those games where tight checking, not a lot of space, and we're going to be getting everyone's best every single night and forget about the weekend and then look to this one.
Played a good game Saturday. Didn't score. Asked our guys to play better. We played better. So did they. It was a good hockey game. Came down to one shot. Happens in a game. Stay with what we're doing.
It's always a good day when you can sweep a fellow WCHA opponent. It's an even better day when you can sweep a fellow WCHA opponent and hold them to just 2 goals on the entire weekend. That's exactly what the UMD women's hockey team did this past weekend on their home ice against a BSU team that they were meeting for the second time and third time this month. UMD trailed just once on the weekend as a whole. Friday's shutout marked career save number 2,999 rather for Maddie Rooney. Ashton Bell had the team high 3 goals on the weekend as a whole. Her and Gabby Hughes, along with Rooney, were voted WCHA Players of the Week.
I think those are some of our best games we've had all year. They weren't perfect at all, but I think that we just battled and we wanted it. I think we do have a different feel this semester. I think we're really confident right now, so it's going to be a fun weekend coming up here.
2020 has been good to us so far, and that's a good Bemidji team. They're going to test you in all areas of the ice. To have those 3 wins in a row, I think, is a statement, and that's what we're looking for from our group.
UMD men are back at home this weekend while the women hit the road for St. Cloud State. A programming note, Friday's UMD men's game against North Dakota will be on the CBS Sports Network, and Saturday's game will be on the My9 Sports Network, so please plan accordingly. Now, last night was arguably one of the best matchups we will see at the girls' high school hoops level all season. In a rematch of the section finals, Proctor overcame an early game deficit to hand Duluth Marshall just their 2nd loss on the entire season, thanks in a big part to spread it around scoring. 3 of the Rails starters were in double digits as they rolled past the topper 71-61, improving to 16-1 on the season.
We played through adversity. We were down 12-3 out of the gate, took a timeout, adjusted a couple little things, and then we came out and executed. Pretty soon it was 13-12 us, and then we never looked back.
The energy in the gym was just awesome, and the crowd was just with us the whole game, and it was nice to just execute the game plan and just come out on top with a win.
Bring back the Rails take on Cloquet next Tuesday, January 28th at 7:15 p.m. on the road. I got to ask you, Kristen, does that bring back memories of your Hall of Fame Chisholm High School basketball career?
Yeah, I love the image you have of me in your mind. It's wonderful. That's impressive. 3 starters in double digits.
They played well.
That's great.
They are fun and they are scary. Yeah, because Duluth Marshall's good. They're both good. But Proctor definitely does a good job. They've got their key core, but they've got girls that can step up and shoot wherever and whenever.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
Definitely a team sport. That's for sure.
It is.
All right, thanks, Kelly. An Italian restaurant in Australia made a massive pizza to help raise some dough for firefighters battling the devastating wildfires across the country. The owners baked this behemoth in a conveyor oven over the weekend. The rectangular pizza was 16 inches wide and stretched 338 feet. That's longer than a football field. They sliced it up into 4,000 slices to feed the crowd that showed up to donate money for the new South Wales Rural Fire Service. It's just one more reason why pizza is oh so amazing. All right, Dave, is this warm-up sticking around?
Yeah, for at least a week, maybe a little bit longer as well. Our January thaw is here, and we should be in the lower 30s through next Wednesday. Next couple of days, watch out for a rain-snow mix on our roadways.
All right, thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you at 10.